Welcome back to the channel, folks. And if you're new to the channel, my name is Brad and I'm out here on our 20 acres in North Florida that we're developing into a homestead. Today's video is going to be about mowing this steep pond bank. And I don't know the exact angle of this pond bank, but I'm 6 foot tall. And you can see my brush hog is hanging off the edge here. And I'm probably 4 feet down from level where the road is. So what I want to do in this video is show how to mow this steep bank in a somewhat safe manner. Now, my very first thing I'm going to say is do not exceed the limitations of your equipment or your own capabilities. I'm very familiar with this pond bank and I'm very familiar with using this tractor, so I feel very comfortable mowing this pond bank. But let's talk about the way I've got the tractor set up real quick. So if you've been following the channel or at least been watching some of our latest videos, I've been taking my loader off my tractor a lot and I really love it. I really enjoy that for mowing. It lets me get in tighter on the ends. There's a lot more visibility. I just really enjoy that. But today I left the loader on. I'm going to mow this bank in 4-wheel drive in low gear. I've got a hydrostatic transmission, so it's just a matter of pushing the pedal on the front or the back of it. But this loader will give me extra weight on these front tires to help me get up the bank. This pond bank is very dry and that's very important. I would never mow this with the pond bank wet because there's clay in our dirt here and that clay will get slippery when it's wet, and I do not want to be pulling my tractor out of the pond here. I like my tractor too much. So real quick on the controls of the tractor, I'm going to have that lever pulled up. That'll lead me in 4-wheel drive. That's my HST pedal over there. So that's reverse if I hit the back of it, and that's forward if I hit the front of it. And then my differential lock, if I feel like I'm slipping, I'll take my heel and push this down, and that will lock my rear 2 wheels. You may not know this, or you may know it, but a tractor, even a 4-wheel drive tractor, is a 2-wheel drive tractor. You get one in the back and one in the front. And both of those tires are the ones with the least amount of traction. If you push down your differential lock with your left heel, that will at least lock in the 2 rear wheels, and then you'll have a 3-wheel drive tractor. You will not ever have a 4-wheel drive tractor unless you have a locking front differential, and I don't know of any compact tractors that have that. That doesn't mean that there isn't one, that just means that I don't know of one, and it's not standard in the Kubota L series. But the first thing I have to do is mow these straightaways, so then I'll have a clearer path for mowing the actual bank. Now that's as far as I want to go down that pond bank. I probably could go another pass more, that would be 5 feet more, but the tractor's kind of at a bad angle and it's just not worth it. I don't want to take that chance. Now I mowed this pretty tight up here, and my preference on a bank or any kind of slope is to mow it so as the water comes down the slope, it actually hits the windrows of grass and they create little dams and it stops a lot of erosion. So I've got a nice carpet of grass in the right way to keep this water as it comes down this bank from washing out this bank. But I'm going to have to change that up and go vertically or this way as I do the rest of this, because I'm going to have to back up with the tractor. So I don't know if the camera picks it up, but that's a pretty decent slope, and I just feel uncomfortable going any further. So I'm going to turn the tractor now and I'm going to back up and just kind of do a little arc 5 feet at a time and just go on down this bank. You'll notice I scalped it a little bit here, and I'm trying hard to prevent that. We want grass to grow on this bank, so we want to keep as much exposed dirt covered with grass. So when it started hitting right here and scalping, I lifted the brush hog up a little bit. Now it's not going to mow it perfectly level like it did up top because the brush hog is at a different angle than the tractor, and I'm not going to take the time to go up and down with it. But it gets most of this grass cleaned up here and gives it a much better look. I gotta come back and catch this little area here. But here's the finished product, and it's pretty good. I didn't scalp it too bad. Like I said, I started here and I had to adjust the brush hog. And then once I got it adjusted, I just went on down the bank here and got it mowed pretty good. Now there are a few pieces of grass that didn't get mowed, but I mowed as far as I felt that I needed to, and got a much better look going here. So if you're a current farm owner, homesteader, you know you got to cut a lot of grass. If you're someone new to the game, you're going to have to cut a lot of grass. And the more that you can cut with your tractor and your heavy equipment, the less you have to hit with a string trimmer. Now I'm going to come around this pond later with a string trimmer and get it looking really good. Now I don't own a zero turn, but we're going to get one here at Piney Grove. So Mrs. Piney Grove, aka Deb, can help me mow. But I've heard zero turns don't do good on a slope. Because their front tires aren't powered or have no traction, they'll actually fall away. So as you're going down this slope, they'll tend to want to go that way. So I'm going to be mowing this pond bank with that Kubota for years to come. So in this last segment here, where I did this pond bank, I had to do it a little bit differently because it drops off a lot more than that bank does over there. It's a lot more steep. Now I've been down this pond several times with a box blade to get that nice and smooth, and I've backbladed with the tractor. I'm very confident that the tractor can go up and down that slope, but because it's steeper, you can't just leave the bush hog at the regular angle. So you saw me back up, and then I dropped the bush hog, came forward, then picked the bush hog up, and that's what I did down that whole side. Now it's not as neat and clean here because I couldn't keep the brush hog at the same level, but it's what you have to do on a slightly steeper bank. So before I end this video, I want to say, know the capabilities of your tractor. I've been up and down the banks of this pond many, many times. I put the front loader back on so I'd have extra weight on the front tires for traction, and I'm very, very familiar with my front and back hydrostatic pedals so I can get out of danger quickly by switching to forward and reverse. And I'm also very familiar with my rear differential lock, so I can lock in that rear differential if I need to get up that bank. So know the capabilities of your tractor before you attempt something like this, and also know your terrain. Don't go into some new area and you're like, oh man, that's not that steep, and then you get in there and you get yourself in trouble. Worst case scenario, you could hurt yourself or hurt your tractor, but you also could just get stuck somewhere where you're miles away from where someone can help pull you out, and then that's just a miserable day. So keep those things in mind. We say often this is a how we do channel, not how to do channel. Everyone has their own limitations of their equipment and also their own personal limitations. You'll notice when I was doing the straightaways here, I stopped going down there because it just felt too tippy. And with the loader, I have confidence I can drop that loader if it feels too tippy, and that'll at least hold me in that spot. But it just felt too tippy. It wasn't worth it. And we have a previous video where we mowed all of this with a Ventrac, but that's much wider, that's much lower center of gravity. It's just a totally different machine for mowing than a tractor with a brush hog. So if you like today's video, please click that like button. That's that big thumb at the bottom. Subscribe if you haven't already. Subscribing is 100% free. And if you click that little bell, it'll let you know when we put out a new video. We're always putting out new videos about the work that we're doing out here on the property, and we have a lot of tractor and a lot of excavator content. I'm going to leave you with some footage of mowing that east bank over there, but otherwise that's all I've got, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care, y'all.